So, have you checked your inbox lately? I mean, it's got to be just flooded, right? Flash sales, spring savings, these massive discounts on, well, everything. All the latest games, the tech subscriptions you use every single day. It kind of feels like every big company out there is suddenly desperate to give you a deal.
So what is going on here? Is this just some kind of rare moment of corporate generosity? Or are we actually seeing the first shots of a much bigger, way more aggressive conflict? We decided to dig into the latest telemetry from the TEKIN Economic Radar to figure out the real strategy here.
And the source material is pretty blunt about it. This isn't a sale. The report calls it a price war, a really violent turning point in the digital economy. And to navigate it, we first have to understand where the battle lines are even being drawn.
Okay, our first battlefield is your subscription list. You see, companies are fighting tooth and nail, not just for your money, but to lock you deep inside their digital ecosystems, what we call their walled gardens.
And don't think for a second that their motivation is a gift. The report actually calls this a resuscitation protocol. On one hand, you've got Sony. They desperately need to stop gamers from canceling subscriptions while they save up for new consoles. Then, on the other hand, you have Microsoft, who is just burning through cash building AI data centers, and they're leaning on their gaming division for some quick revenue. So you've got two very different problems, but they both lead to the exact same solution: cut prices, and do it now.
So how do you actually take advantage of this? Well, for all you PlayStation users, the data shows that locking in that annual plan is the highest return on investment move you can make this year, especially with top-tier games being added faster than ever. And for you Xbox and PC gamers, that 50% discount, that's a huge flashing sign to aggressively stack time. Basically, lock in that low price while Microsoft is hungry for cash.
All right, let's move on to the next front and see how this all connects: the PC gaming market. And when you talk about PC gaming, you're really just talking about its undisputed ruler, Valve's Steam platform.
And this market share, it's absolutely key. I mean, with a staggering 90% of the market, Valve isn't fighting for survival like Sony or Microsoft are. They don't have to slash prices out of desperation. Nope. Instead, they use their legendary sales events to kind of guide players toward specific games. But that power, well, it also creates some serious traps for buyers.
And here it is, the first major warning from the report. You are going to see a ton of recent big-budget online live service games with these insane 80 to 90% discounts. It looks like an incredible deal, I know, but trust me, it is pure bait.
The source's advice here could not be more direct. Basically, these games failed to find an audience, and the companies are just trying to squeeze out one last drop of cash before they shut down the servers for good, a move that's called a server sunset. And once that happens, your purchase becomes a completely worthless digital license, a digital paperweight. So, if you're avoiding the traps, where are the real gems? Right now, it's in the indie space. Steam's new algorithm is apparently prioritizing games with high completion rates and player retention, which heavily favors these high-quality, focused, single-player experiences over those bloated blockbusters. So what are the direct buy signals? You gotta look for the guaranteed wins, legendary single-player titles that are finally getting a price cut, or those highly anticipated sequels in early access. And hey, as a nice little bonus, their low-power consumption makes them absolutely perfect for handhelds like the Steam Deck. You get way more value for every dollar.
Okay, now we shift to the most volatile and maybe the most important battlefield of all: artificial intelligence. I mean, for the first time ever, we are witnessing a direct, all-out price war among the major AI labs, and it is causing absolute bloodshed in Silicon Valley. Just look at how fast this all happened. For the longest time, $20 a month for a top-tier AI model was just the standard. It was non-negotiable. Then a new player called DeepSeek just storms in with these incredibly efficient models, completely shattering the price floor. And that forced everyone else to react, leading to the crazy price war we're seeing right now.
This breakdown right here is your guide to navigating all this chaos. The telemetry points to a really clear strategy. Figure out your workflow and lock in a price. So if you depend on ChatGPT's advanced agent features, that new annual discount is a must-buy. If you're a coder or a researcher who needs a massive context window, then Anthropic's bulk deals are your target. And for all you visual artists out there, Midjourney's 50% off is the perfect time to lock in a few months of service at a really deep discount.
Okay, so we've surveyed the battlefields, we've seen the traps, we've spotted the opportunities. Now let's put it all together into a final, actionable playbook to help you navigate this price war with an architect's precision. First up, let's talk hardware.
You're seeing these huge sales on laptops and components for a very, very specific reason. The report says a brand new generation of chips with powerful built-in AI processors is about to flood the market this summer. So the original equipment manufacturers, the OEMs, they are desperate to sell off their current stock before it becomes yesterday's news.
So what's the smart buy here? Well, high-end gaming laptops with 40 series graphics cards are seeing massive drops and are going to stay powerful for years to come. But the number one signal, the absolute best move, is for high-speed SSD storage. Prices are at rock bottom, and believe me, you're going to need that speed for modern games and for running these new AI models locally on your own machine.
And all of this brings us to our final 3-step playbook. Step 1, lock in those high-value subscriptions on an annual plan. Protect yourself from future price hikes. Step 2, evade the digital traps. Those cheap live service games are not your friend. And step 3, fortify your foundational hardware with the money you saved, specifically your storage.
Really, the ultimate takeaway is this: do not make emotional impulse buys. The corporations are all fighting each other, and in that chaos, the advantage shifts to you, the user who is patient, who is informed, and who makes decisions based on data, not just on a flashy discount banner.
So that leaves us with one last question to think about. In a market this volatile, where these corporate giants are literally bleeding profits just to win your loyalty, who really ends up holding the power? Is it the company setting the price? Or is it the user who knows exactly when, where, and why to buy?